This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. This is episode number 190 for January the 17th, 2016. Every year in January, Cast of Wonders takes a month off to recharge our batteries, plan the year ahead, and highlight some of our favourite episodes. As part of joining the Escape Artists family, this year we're pulling out all the stops. We're running 10 staff pick episodes over the month, each one hosted by a different member of the Cast of Wonders crew. So, hello everyone, this is Catherine Inskip. I'm one of the Slushpile readers and a sometime narrator for Cast of Wonders. I'm also a lecturer in astrophysics, a mother of 2 young boys, a chocoholic, and a writer of a great many unfinished stories. So, how did I end up joining the Cast of Wonders team? That, my friends, is going to have to remain a mystery a little while longer. But let's just say it involved a chance encounter and a full English breakfast. You'll get the full story in the next episode when my husband, Jeremy Carter, takes the helm. My staff pick for 2015 is episode 178, Home Isn't by Kelly Sandoval. It originally aired on October the 25th, 2015, and was narrated by me. And now, we've a tale to tell. Home Isn't by Kelly Sandoval. They tell him he'll be happy when he gets there. It was wrong, what was done to you, they say. We're making it right. You're going home. The kind ones, who call him Mark, are pleased. They have a party, with foods from his planet. He chews the edge of a grey leaf so bitter it closes his throat. He's used to Coke and animal crackers. You're going home, they say. No more soda, no more sweets. No more rooms with white walls and bright toys. No more needles, treadmills, tests. Home. They won't tell him what home is, only what it isn't. He pictures a toyless, colourless, cokeless expanse. He pictures fields of bitter grey leaves growing beside silver pools. He tries to picture others like himself, but he is the only one he knows. He populates his imaginings with mirror-reversed copies of his own face, pale blue fur and liquid black eyes. At night, he wraps his arms around his chest and makes low, choking noises as he tries to cry. He's never quite gotten the trick of it. The unkind ones, who call him the subject, whisper about missed opportunities, invasions and autopsies. They tell each other, we civilised the subject, but who knows about the others? They're probably savages. What if they eat their own kind? He dreams of teeth. His favourite among them, the woman who wears silver bracelets and paints his nails in rainbow colours, cries as she leads him to the shuttle. We thought it was best. She makes a sound he knows isn't laughter, because her eyes show no light. That's always the defence, isn't it? But it'll be better there. You'll be yourself. He wonders who he's been so far. The shuttle is a sleek black cylinder that hums as they approach it. He clings to her side, twining his fingers in her black hair and hiding his face in her sleeve. They climb the ramp together and explore the emptiness inside. It's okay, she tells him. It's automated. We'll put you to sleep and it'll drive you home. He has never been alone. Oh, Mark. She untangles her hair from his fingers and takes both his hands. It's part of the treaty. No more contact. She leads him to a bed that yields like putty under the pressure of his touch and straps him in. When you wake up, she says, you'll be home. Above the bed is a poster covered in dense looping swirls. If it's art, it isn't beautiful. If it's language, he can't read it. Either way, it feels like an accusation. He closes his eyes against it and sleeps. When he wakes, there is no one. It takes him a long time just to get out of the bed. He has to unbuckle the straps himself, and his fingers are clumsy and weak. His nails show dark circles below the rainbow polish. He finds a strand of black hair and wraps it around his wrist. He waits for instructions. The door to the shuttle stays closed. Maybe they got rid of him on purpose. Maybe they don't really want him back. Maybe they eat their own kind. He combs his fur as best he can, leaving piles of shed on the steel floor. He buttons his shirt, the nice one he wears when visitors come to look at him. He met a president once. The door panel flashes. He ignores it. Time passes. No one comes. There are no toys, no treadmills, no needles, no animal crackers either. The hunger forces him to act. He presses his hand against the panel, and the door opens with a quiet whir. A ramp extends to the ground. This, he tells himself, is home. Home is a wide expanse of green glass with low black buildings in the distance, and the air smells like grapefruit juice. It is 5 beings who are not his mirror-reverse selves. Their fur comes in silver, in brown, in the bright pink of his favourite keeper's flower dresses. They speak, but the words are static, meaningless. Their teeth, like his, are very sharp. He cringes back into the ship and presses the door panel. The door stays open. "Child," says the silver one, in a throaty, elongated version of his keeper's speech. "Be not to fear, child. Come." Obedience is the first lesson he was ever taught. He shuffles down the ramp, his head low. "They hurt you?" it asks. He doesn't know the answer. He shakes his head. "You fear," it says. "Wait, fear goes." "Is this home?" he asks. "Home is time," it says. "Home comes." Fear goes. Home comes. He wonders if it's true. He's used to being lied to. "Who are you?" It isn't quite the question he wants to ask. He knows a little about families. Enough to want one. It pauses. When it speaks again, the words are clearer, more rehearsed. "I am the one who waited." "I don't belong here," he says. It takes his hand. "That too comes." I'm going to be honest here. The first time I read this story, I fell a little bit in love with it. Partly, I think it's because I'm a mother and I can really empathise with Mark's favourite minder. As alien as he is, she genuinely seems to care for him. And yet, this is one of those stories that will never completely leave my mind. There's so much going on between the lines, and it's all of that that really takes it to another level for me. Mark has a very limited perspective on his world. He knows about junk food and nail polish, and a little bit about families. He knows the difference between kindness and unkindness. He knows about tests, treadmills, needles. But he doesn't know his favourite's name. Either that, or he chooses not to use it. There's also a distinction in how he thinks of himself. He's so utterly ignorant of his own species and culture, but it's his kinder minders that call him Mark, not he himself. It makes me wonder, is there a difference between being called Mark or being called the subject? Both names erase. Both names make assumptions. One may be more forgivable and far better motivated, but is it any less harmful? That's another aspect of the story that really resonated for me. This is a tale of an outsider, someone who is raised away from their peers and who will forever be subject to cultural misunderstandings at some level, wherever they end up. It's a hard experience, and I think there'll be many listeners who see some element of their own lives here. This story paints a broader and darker picture too. When it first went out in October of last year, Marguerite noted the clear parallels that can be drawn between Mark's experience and issues of forced relocation or forced migration. These seem more relevant than ever now, with millions of people all around the world forced to start again, so very far from home. Home. It should be a place of freedom and safety, but that's not always the case. And even within families, there are times when we become strangers to one another. A parent may need to impose their will on their child to some extent, but no one stays a child forever. Is the alien that the kind ones call Mark a child? He certainly comes across as one. He's ignorant, innocent, desperate for comfort and security. All of that evokes my maternal instincts. But perhaps that too is another kind of imposition. He's also cynical and smart. He's capable of using his imagination to test the limits of his world. Really, we don't know that he's a child, or what person he might have become had he been raised amongst his own kind. We don't know what fate awaits him back home. And there are other unknowns too. Was his return home and the no-contact clause of the treaty designed to help integrate him back into society? Or was it to prevent humanity from learning any more about the aliens than they already had? Is his welcome as warm as it seemed? Or is he merely a loose end, safely tidied away by a meticulous alien bureaucracy? Either way, I can't help wondering if he can ever be fully integrated into the society of his birth. Has his innate potential been denied him? This story is tragic on so many levels. In what happens to the alien called Mark, and in what it says about us too. We all have the potential to form loving connections with families of birth or families of choice, and yet so often those chances are squandered. What's left behind isn't a place I'd want to call home. Cast of Wonders relies on your donations to pay our authors and bring you the best in young adult audio fiction week after week. If you've enjoyed this story, please consider making a donation using the PayPal link on our site. Every one-time and monthly subscription helps, and you have our heartfelt thanks. You can share your appreciation for this story by leaving us a review on iTunes, sharing the episode with your friends and family, or discussing it on our forum. We're at Cast of Wonders on Twitter. Come say hello. Cast of Wonders is a production of Escape Artists Incorporated and is brought to you by the creative team of our editor, Marguerite Kenner, assistant editor, Jeff Height, our artist, Barry J. Northern, audio producers, Jeremy Carter and Ricky Lacoste, and our slush team, Danny Daly, Alexis Goebel, Catherine Inskip, Sally Gill, Melissa Bugay, Olivia Denholm, and Ellery McAllister. Our episodes are released under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives 4.0 International License. You can share the episode, but you can't change it or sell it. Our theme, Appeal to Heavens, is by Alexei Nov from musicalley.com. Thanks for listening.